Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm sitting in my bed because this is where I wake up and this is what I do. I put me on a little bit and, do my thing. But guess what? I'm here to talk to you. We're going to talk about victory and being victorious. And we're going to talk about how to be amazingly better than you were yesterday. The key to having a great, victorious, wonderful, fortunate day is to be able to say that my today was greater than my yesterday and mean it. And you know it because you have made different and better decisions than you did the day before. If you do not take small steps to make better decisions every day, then you will continue to fall into the pits of depression. You will continue to fall into the cycles of abuse. You will continue to fall back into the habits of addiction. And nobody wants all of that. Ain't nobody got time for none of that. Alright? So the key for you is to make small choices, small decisions every day. Not even every day. Every moment of the day to make today better than yesterday. Which leads me to my real topic of the day, which is boom, how to stop the cycle of abuse. The cycle of abuse has got to stop. And it may as well stop with you. And how can we do this is a big question because it's like most of the time people think, oh, well, they hurt me. So if I stop hanging around them, they won't hurt me. You can cut everybody off in your life, and I'm a living witness. You can cut off everybody in your life and don't talk to nobody. Nobody. But if you are a person who has absorbed the negative, abusive energies, then you don't need anybody to abuse you. You've absorbed this energy, it is in you, and so you can cut everyone off and still continue the cycle of abuse within yourself. How? Why? What? No, it's true. Because the cycle of abuse starts nowhere else but in your mind. Take it. You may have been a child who has suffered some form of child abuse and or neglect. And no, it's not fair and it sucks and it hurts and it makes you have these issues with rejection and trust and self-love and self-esteem and acceptance and wanting to be something to be accepted when you don't realize that neglect, abuse, and trauma had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with the person's mind who did that act to you or neglected to fulfill that responsibility to you. So, in your mind, you took it as I'm not good enough. And I just told you that the cycle of abuse for a human being starts in the mind. So, you thinking, I'm not good enough. I have to change. Their parents stayed together, so something may be wrong with me. Or their not being abused. So if I act this way, or I'm being compared to this person, so if I be more like that person, then they will love me. Or if I change my image, then they will love me. Or if I change my perspective, then they will love me. This is abusive thinking. When you start comparing yourself to anything else other than your purpose and the standards that it takes to fulfill your purpose and be the best you that you can be, that is the beginning, the very beginning of mental illness. Comparison is the beginning of mental illness. And if you don't stop it when it starts in your mind, you are going to start to say, I'm not good enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. Then you're going to say, from these words, you are going to change things about yourself. You are going to find people and try to emulate them. And when you find people to emulate them, do you know that you are committing something called idolatry? You are making this person a form of perfection in your mind, comparison, and saying, they have everything I want, they are everything I want to be. So you are throwing your purpose, you are throwing your being, you are throwing your value out of the window and saying this person is greater than the person who Creator made you to be. This idea of a person is greater than the purpose that Creator has for you. Tripping. Mental illness, sickness, disease set in from those types of thoughts. The cycle of abuse has already begun in the mind. Then the words follow. Because then you say, child, I'm not worried about me. That's not this. Then you always talk about other people. Always talk about what other people doing. Always in other people's business. Always worried about everybody else. Always worried. What the hell you on Zillow worried about somebody else's payments? Is it coming out your pockets? If they payments ain't coming out your pockets, why are you being nosy? That's just the nosy. You know, ooh, touch that nose. See, nosiness is a symptom of comparison, which is a beginning to mental illness. Do not be deceived. Do not be like, oh, dismayed. Oh, well, this person's checking on me because they're concerned. They want to know. No. They bringing a mental illness to you to try to knock you off your focus, knock you off your game, to try to steal some of your energy. That's the truth. See, because this here mental illness, I don't know if you've ever been a caretaker to someone who has mental illness, but it is very draining. And if you don't have a child or a parent or a beloved relative who is having a mental illness, it is not your responsibility to be their caretaker. Because it is draining. It is draining of your spirit. It is distracting because they're hard-headed. We all have rebellion in us. But you can, when a person has a mental illness that is draining upon you, you have to start to protect your spirit. If they are not of the of that core, then you have to send them away. Direct them to help. Direct them to therapy. Direct them to church. Direct them to the synagogue. Direct them to the mosque. Direct them to the river. I'm talking about like sorry, the rivers is a treatment center. Sorry. Not the water. The treatment center. Direct them to some treatment centers. Encourage them to take the medications or do whatever it is. Direct them to meditation. You know, like you, when people who have mental illness come around you, you have to take power over the situation, providing you don't have the same issues of comparison, because you're going to get sucked in, or you're going to be running the loony show. Because I don't like this foolishness where they'll tell people who have bright ideas and innovative thinking, they'll call them crazy. But then people who actually showing true signs of mental illness, like comparison, like gossiping, like being busybodies or nosy people in other people's business, like fraud, they don't call them people crazy. But excuse me, those are crazy people. Okay, those actually, it ain't right, and it's not crazy in no good way. So let us protect ourselves from these energy suckers, energy sappers who just want to be who you are. Put the barriers on them. I don't gossip. People know when you call me, are we talking about people? We talking about other people? What kind of other people we talking about? We are talking about achievements? Are we talking about praying for somebody to be healthy? Are we talking about making some moves on somebody's behalf? Because I know we ain't just gossiping about nobody's business or what they doing on the humbug. Because I ain't got time to talk about other people. Because all I got time to do is worried about what I'm going through. What I got to be going through for my purpose. What I got to be doing. And it sounds selfish, but no. Because I would rather talk about us, what's present, be present in the moment, have a great time in the moment with the people who here, that to poison my energy, toxify my atmosphere with BS that's gonna come back to have a negative effect. So when people come at you with gossip, understand that that is a symptom of mental illness. Tell them to take it out. I guess she doing it. Oh man, I seen your man. You know what? If you see my man and you didn't call me in the moment, don't call me now. If you seen some bullshit by my homegirl and you ain't stop it, you was a part of it. You need to get away. You need to shut mental illness down. Send them to the treatment center. Don't take it no more. If it's your mama or your daddy or your brothers or your children, it's hard because you want to love people, but you got to protect your energy. Send people to treatment, make them take their medication, but you got to protect your energy. Anytime something of a disease is started to distract you, do not allow it. Bottom line, your peace is more important, and there is a diplomatic way to handle mental illness, but that's a subject for a whole nother video. We gonna definitely talk about that in another thing, because anyways, let us go ahead on with stopping the cycles of abuse, which putting barriers, setting boundaries to people who are toxic is one way to begin to stop the cycles of abuse. But internally, you're going to have to start to say, I will not continue to think this way. Say it. I will not think negatively of myself. I used to call myself the STUPID word. I used to call myself that word all the time. Oh gosh. And you know what? There ain't nothing stupid by me. I'm rebellious. Okay, so let's just put it this way. And my words meant something that my thoughts did not mean. A symptom of neglect, or a symptom of not being able to communicate properly. You think something, but you don't have the words to put it together because you really don't talk to people. You don't know how to communicate properly or put the words together in a traumatic or in a situation where you should be speaking, but you're just closed up. So, your words you need to look at a thesaurus. You need to read a dictionary. Reading dictionaries and thesauruses, reading books with higher reading levels will help open up a plethora of words, of expressions, so you can say how you feel instead of saying I'm mad. My granddaddy used to say, ain't nothing bad but a dog." Granddaddy, but I'm very, very angry. You know, and then I got to the point where I got to the E's in the dictionary, and I was like, I'm exasperated. He's like, okay, okay, fine. But he was proud of me for not resorting to the mad word, because I'm not mad. I'm not a mad dog. I'm not a mad animal. I'm not a rabbit animal. You know, so he is proud of me for finding better words. So when you become more knowledgeable on expressing yourself, see, because one time stupid had a real definition, and it was, I do what I'm not supposed to do even though I know I'm not supposed to do it, or I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do even though I know I'm supposed to be doing. So me saying that, I know that there had some ringing of truth, but the fact of the matter is I didn't know what to do to not be doing something stupid. Okay, research. You got to do some kind of research other than what other people doing on social media. Giving too much attention to other people or other outside entities when you haven't gotten yourself together is so toxic. If you don't know your purpose, if all you know about yourself is your birthday and your zodiac signs and your element symbols, you definitely need to stay off the darn social medias. You don't need to try to be nobody influencer. I don't care if it's the best toothpaste in the world. Have a purpose for yourself before you go try to promote or make people believe and do the things that you think are cool. Because if you have no solid structure, foundation, pillars, levels, the roof ain't gonna stand. The top ain't gonna stand. Everything you think always gonna change. Change, 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 change. That's why it's so good to not take things personal. Acknowledge people in their being as right in their own eyes and not be so judgmental, even to yourself. I am the biggest judgmental person of myself. It took me so long to be able to get back on video, back on camera, especially doing something that's not sexual. I know it sounds stupid, but not for me. Getting on the camera, being comfortable, not looking like the status quo, or not having the perfect background, but just being open to wanting to share this message with you is big for me, because I believe in an amazing production, but I had to become detached from a dream or an ideal of perfection and deliver this message so that you can stop self-sabotaging by overly critiquing yourself, by saying this isn't right, that's not right, this ain't right, I don't like, the message is the message, and I need to get this out. So if we understand that our purpose and our goals to help us achieve our purpose throughout our lives are paramount, we start to make small decisions every day to achieve our purpose, then we stop focusing on the negative energy. We stop focusing on the negative people. We stop focusing on the negative judgmental thoughts. We stop caring about other people's business. We stop comparing ourselves. We stop trying to be too perfect. We stop denying ourselves joy because we feel like suffering brings justice. Mm-hmm. For some reason, those who have suffered trauma truly feel like punishing themselves more will justify their self-guilt when they have no reason to feel guilty. Yes, you could have made a bad decision. You could have been hard-headed. You could have been rebellious. And there are consequences to this. But the consequence be over and you're 20 years later punishing yourself for something that you did 20 years ago. This is the cycle of abuse which you do to yourself. Oh, well, I didn't go to school, so I don't deserve to do that. I'm just going to keep working here, and I failed before, so. Man, let me tell you something. I had this guy, I've helped this guy from my neighborhood. He used to be a dope dealer, thugger, murderer, been to jail, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I help a couple guys, like, I love you guys like this, okay? But anyways, this one particular guy, he dropped out of school because the teachers, we went to an area where it was like from the school system to the jails for the black boys. The white ladies in the school, excuse me, I even felt this. They were boring. They were condescending, and even for kids to be able to be treated like that, you feel like they gave more respect to dogs than they did to us in the school. And a lot of times you would stand there with your hands raised and they would ignore you and all this other kind of stuff. So a lot of people in my neighborhood was not raised to put up with that kind of disrespect. So they went off, and when you go off on teachers, they put you out. You get put out of school too many times, they expel you. Dude got expelled too many times, blah, blah, blah. Ended up dropping out at 10th grade, never going back to school, doing the thug, dug, dizzle, blah, blah, blah. Lo and behold, talking to him, he gets into the music industry. I'm like trying to be a part of a music label or creating a music label with the guys in the neighborhood. They bleed the money dry, don't do nothing, flops and failures, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, let's sit down. You got all of this energy, you can make all of this money, but you wasting your time. What the hell? Let's talk about this. Well, of course, the regular same old. I want to have my own record label. I want to rap. I want to do comedy. Da 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 da. Nothing really spectacularly different or something that could not be achieved with consistency in work. So my question is, if you got the money, the consistency, and you letting people who prove that they're not doing the work, they're abusing your resources. They're abusing what you have to provide. So you're going to have to start going within. What do you mean? You're going to have to go within, change your perspective on the way you see the music industry, the way you see yourself, the way you see the resources, so that you can start to change the way you provide them. Okay. Well, what do you want to do? Go to school. I ain't good at school. I can't go to school. Why? They put me out. They told me I couldn't do this. They told me I couldn't do that. Bro went to school, stayed on the presidential list, or whatever you call it, the dean's honor roll list, A's and B's all through college, but not before he went to Full Sail. Yeah, he went to Full Sail. They put him out of Full Sail because, yes, he had a criminal record. And Full Sail don't really fucks with you like that if you got a criminal record. And I don't know why they put Full Sail in the middle of Central Florida where everybody got a criminal record, because it seems like Florida wouldn't survive if there wasn't somebody having to pay in the criminal system. But anyways, I digress. He got put out, but he re-enrolled into the community university, which would return to whatever. Anyways, he graduated, got his bachelor's degree, and now he has the knowledge, the ability, and the talents, and the resources, and the money, and he has a consistent job and venue to be able to produce as he desires. He got out of toxic situations and finally had a beautiful daughter. He was able to relinquish his attachment to the streets. Big. Relinquish your attachment to the streets or the negative side of life that calls you or makes you feel like it's easy to achieve. And he focused and buckled down on something new and found that he was great, and found that he was very capable, found out that he was very smart, found out that he was very talented. And the only reason why he felt that he wasn't this great, talented, intelligent, smart, capable person was because a system provided people in education who feel like they have the power to tear you down. But it takes a powerful individual to disregard the system to provide a person with hope. So you get around people who, I call them hope dealers. I'm a hope dealer. Me, that's me. I'm a hope dealer. I'm gonna dish out hope. My books are about hope. My work is about hope. My life is about hope, because I came from hopeless situations. Situations where, yeah, I should be on drugs. Yeah, I should be doing what I want. Man, let me tell you, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. For me to be sitting here talking positivity and hopeful, joyful, giving you wonderful salutations, you don't understand what I'm going through, and it don't matter, because me sharing the pain is me sharing the misery. But when I get the message and the lesson, that's when I'm going to come back and be able to say, I went through this, but I learned this. And this is what's else important. Because fuck those tears. That's what you got tear ducts for. It's a form of release. If I don't release, then I'm going to hold it in. I'm supposed to cry. The person, again, this person having this mental issue cause pain to me. However, I'm not going to let their mental issues disturb my mental peace. I'm going to start creating barriers. Ain't nobody with mental dis-ease through their music, through their TV, through their posts, through their talking, through their association, through partying, through traveling. I ain't letting no more dis-ease come near me. Fuck ya. Get way. We ain't about that. Like, I have power over my environment. Let me tell you about me. I don't know if you ever seen my other video, but if you did, I'm gonna break this down right quick. Me, myself, and I. If you understand the power of me, myself, and I, you will understand how the laws of the universe come into play with that. You will understand how your mental, like spiritual, mental, and your physical environment works. So let's just break it down. The power of me, M-E, my environment. My mind is where Creator has this information portal, and my physical understanding come together and meet. And this meeting produces my words. And my words summons my actions. And then my actions create my environment, which creates me. The me you see. My environment. So if the spiritual and the mental part is all disarrayed and dismayed and not talking and not connected, and the mental is thinking it's here by itself, and it's running away and talking about the spiritual part of them is shadows in the dark, and oh, I'm hearing voices that you let's really get to the spiritual part of it. God is trying to tell you something. Look, I ain't gonna lie, I think I got in trouble in jail a little bit because the people talking about something, do I hear voices? I hear y'all voice. That's one of the most stupidest questions to ask somebody in a mental evaluation. Do you hear voices? Bitch, you talking. Excuse me, I digress. But see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I have grown levels because I can leave petty opportunities alone. Cause people ask questions that don't make any sense because they want to take the spirituality out of life. The craziest part about the psychology world is they refuse to acknowledge the spirituality of life. They refuse to acknowledge that somebody's conscience could be weighing on them because they are guilty of things and they need to come, and make amends. They refuse to acknowledge that Creator that made them is talking all the time. And you are supposed to hear spiritually. You do have spiritual ears. You do have spiritual eyes. You have a purpose spiritually. You got all of that, but they refuse to put it into play and combine it with what they think they know about the human condition. They refuse to acknowledge there are laws of human nature that separate us from animals, which makes us not animals, but humans and spiritual beings. So when you say you hear voices, they want to lock you up and pump you up with medicine to kill the spiritual connection in you. When you go to school, they don't want to teach you to pray, but they want to teach you to be stupid and be able to be a freaking robot for their companies to work. And throw your ideas away because they want to disconnect the ability for you to have spiritual downloads and be alive in your spiritual nature. They're sitting up there talking about superpower. No, it's connection to spirit. It ain't spirit superpowers. It's not abnormal. It's when you connect to the spirit, when you connect to source, you don't have to stay limited by the physical because you're connected to spirit, source, abundance. There is no limitations. And what they want to do in this whole society is disconnect you from source. disconnect you from the abundance that is your human right, because it comes with the fact that you have a soul and you have the connection to Creator. You have the ability to connect with the Creator, but they want to poison your mind and disconnect it and take you from it. So, it's your choice. What are you focusing on? What are you giving your energies to? Yes, there are factors and all of these things around you, but at some point in time, in order to truly stop the cycle of abuse, you have to come face to face with yourself in the mirror and understand that there is a negative side of your energy that is fighting against the very positive side of your energy. And you have to understand how you are feeding that negative energy. And you have to stop feeding that negative energy and start feeding the positive side of that energy. If you are having children problems or you're having family problems, you have to stop focusing on the problem. Stop focusing on trying to be right all the time. Do what is best, so that when you look back to be able to tell that story, you can tell that story with pride, because this is how I handle myself in the face of adversity. Because really, it doesn't, like, a person can give you $1 billion, but if you're not together in your head and you are really showing signs of mental illness, you will take that $1 million and beat them down with it, bury them with it, and say, well, where my friend? That's mental illness. That's what the music industry has done to black people. Like, hello. That's what this society has done to the people. Made all of this money, got all of this quote unquote power, and killed the very people who created it. Are terrorizing the very people that support it. And we are supporting the terror because we don't understand how to stop the cycle of abuse. It goes from individual to family. From family to community. From community to county. From county to city. To city to state. State to region. From region country to worldwide. And it all started with one's mind. One mind will send the cycle of abuse from singular to worldwide, throughout the universe. From worldwide to universal. And it starts because your mind is connected to the universe through spirit. And if you don't have the awareness, if you don't connect your me with the myself and the I of Creator, that purpose, the spirit within you, the one that says I am, and it lets you be, and then you are who you are. You can never stop the cycle of abuse. You can never stop the things of negativity from coming, because you will attract them, as it starts in the mind. And it doesn't even, this is the crazy part. It happens that it goes from your mind to the universe faster than you actually see it in your environment. So what happens is, this here connection takes that negative energy and go whoop, 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 bring it to you, whoop, 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 bring it to you, whoop, 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 bring it to you, whoop, 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 bring it to you. So the way you stop everything negative in your environment from popping off is you have to change your perspective in your mind. Start thinking solution-based instead of problem-oriented. Every time you think should not be based about a problem. It should be based about your purpose. Because the thing about crazy, wonderful thing about problems. I love this. Problems are like popcorn seeds. You gotta put the seed in some hot oil, put the thing in there, and get the top on the pot, let it get real hot. And then soon it's gonna go pop, it's gonna pop off, right? And go poop. And then you got all this food, you got this popcorn. All came from a hard seed kernel. Hard. Ain't even gonna grow. Kind of sort of like the problems in your life. Seems like it's a hard knot of issues or problems or circumstances, a hard rock, a hard place. You can't grow, you can't penetrate. But your purpose is inside there. And you and that problem got to work it out. You got to go through the fires. Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. Just for the purpose. The beauty of the solution is a part of your purpose. Whether it's to help you show people how to get the solution, whether it is the resolution to the problem that the world needs to know, or it's something that comes from it, that becomes a resource for you to be able to live from. Quit running away from your problems. Quit getting your feelings hurt. I can't do it. Ah! Are you abusive, Tommy? Let me tell you, I will say it again, you can cut every person off in your life, all across the board. Cut them all off. Nothing to do with it. But because the negativity is in your mind, you're going to attract a whole new group of people with the same reoccurring problems. Different instances. Stop the negative parts of abusive thinking in your mind. Stop the negative words of speaking who you are, or who you are not, or what you will or will not do, or what you can or cannot do. Stop speaking those things. Stop doing things that you know give you negative results. The definition of insanity is doing things over and over again, expecting different results, not stopping to reflect over your mistakes so that you can change them, or change the decisions, or change your course of action, and then trying to do something different according to what you've learned. You want to be great? Got to start making great decisions. You want to stop addictive habits, or you want to break addiction? You got to stop thinking you're powerless. Tell yourself you're powerful and you're in control. I'm in control and I can stop. I'm in control and I can stop. And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. Because, like, you're addicted to sex, or you're addicted to drugs, or you're addicted to the street life. There's certain things you don't want to quit. If you like hoeing and you a good hoe, and you don't, but you know that that's not the way, you know, that's the lower vibration for your being, and you have higher things to achieve, it's gonna be hard to quit. Fuck it off. It's gonna quit. it's gonna be hard to quit hoeing. Cause if you're doing it for money or whatever, the shit is good. Whatever it is, it's good. It's fun. It's a uh, it's a fun way of life. And the crazy part about it is, they say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But what you love hurts you. You're digging yourself into an early grave. So we have to start making decisions that, increase and enhance our vibration. So you got to stop hoeing and start thinking about your life in a whole different perspective, and see what it is that you like about hoeing, what it is you like about drugs, what it is that you like about stuff. Analyze the addiction for what it is. What do you like about the high? And what about that high that you can't get when you're sober? Well, I can't feel good when I'm sober. That's a lie. It sounds like you don't want to. That's a whole nother decision. Do you want to be happy? Or do you want to be high and destructive? Do you want to feel good? Well, what makes you feel good when you don't get high? Nothing, because the world sucks when I'm not high. That's sucky thinking, sucky speaking, and that is going to continue the cycle of abuse. And what you have to do is start rebuking yourself. Nope. I'm not going to speak about these negative feelings. I'm going to research. Do some research. Find out what you like, okay? So if you can't hold, then write about it. People love erotica. It's a very, very high selling uh, book selling category. Erotica sells. If you can't host, write about it. If you just like doing things that's risky, get on those little, the roller coasters, Ferris wheels, be a stunt devil. Find things to do that's cool, adrenaline rushing, go learn to scuba dive. That's one of the reasons why I got my Hawaiian retreats. It's like giving you different experiences, opportunities to learn different things so that you can be having different results. You got to do that. Do those things. Take opportunities to do different things, learn different things, try different things. The easiest thing to try to do is pick up a new language. And it's not saying that you're going to be able to pick it up easy. I'm just saying that is the most accessible new skill to give you, that will make you feel good, that will challenge you, but will also get your mind off of addiction. Learning a different language, or learning a skill that you always thought that was impossible. Like, I know my dyslexia challenges me in certain ways. So I'm always reading, trying to make sure, like my eyes, I'm trying to learn how my eyes look at things just to get it back in order. I'm challenging myself because of these things that I find myself feeling limited by. So that when I'm able to overcome them, I'm feeling good. And when I feel good about what I have achieved, there is no bad, negative connotation for that. You have healthy self-esteem. And that's the key. Healthy self-esteem is the way to stop the cycle of abuse. You have to understand, punishing yourself is not going to make anything change from the past. Punishing yourself is not going to make anybody feel better about what you did or about what they did. You need to relinquish punishing yourself, relinquish the ideas of, I have to live a bad way or a low way or because this happened to me or I came from this or we don't have enough. No, let that go. Find yourself meditating and asking for ways to feel good. Ask for ways to feel good. Ask for ways or venues or things, hobbies or habits that make you purposeful. Start asking, well, hello, what is my purpose? Why am I here? So that these longings and these voices or these feelings of what I'm supposed to be doing something but I don't know what it is can be answered. When you hit a low point in your life, do not continue to hurt yourself because you've held on to that negative energy. When you hit a point in life, or if you have suffered trauma in life, or you're going to suffer trauma in your life, do not continue the cycle of abuse by hurting yourself. Do not continue the cycle of abuse against yourself. Take the cycle of abuse, that energy that comes from it, you take that energy, and number one, you choose to be powerful over it. Do everything in your power to stop it completely so that you're not living in fear of that threat. And it's so empowering to do to be your own hero. Be your own hero. I ain't saying you gotta kill or hurt nobody. No. But you stop people from hurting you. You stop your life from being governed by fear. You create your environment with the power that you have in your mind, with understanding that there is a purpose in this problem and you're going to wrestle it until you get the gold that's in it. Don't let your problems weigh you down and tear you out of the joy of your life. And don't let worrying about tomorrow take away your peace from today. Be strong. Know that if you survive the trauma, it's over. It is time for you to take control, be in power, and do everything. Whether you got to go to the police station, the doctor's office, therapy, physical therapy, defensive classes, whatever the courses is. The gun license, or whatever you have to do to protect yourself, you do it. You arm yourself. Likewise, you get your education up. You get your brains up. You understand the lay of your land. You understand the laws around you. You protect yourself. Don't you understand we are under attack in every way? Let me tell you, I'm a black woman, and I know I'm under attack in every way by every culture on this earth. But I ain't did nothing but love nobody. So all I got to say is this. I'm not finna let these hateful motherfuckers turn me into somebody I'm not. Because I know I'm vicious within myself. Because just as don't ever forget, just as there's a loving side to a person, there is also a dark side. And it is that person's choice. It is my choice to choose to be on the more positive side of who I am. It is my choice to elevate myself, rise above those lower beings of me and be the greatest that I am. It is my decision to do that. I encourage you to make that decision. I encourage you to live at your highest being. I encourage you to evolve into your highest being, where you're living in Christ consciousness, where you're living understanding that you and Creator are one, and there is nothing that you cannot have. There is nothing that you cannot handle. And the situations of lowliness that you are in is simply to bring you up to truer, higher heights of your mind and your elevation of your spirit. Truly understanding your purpose and walking in your goals and your achieving your goals and achieving and accomplishing everything that you're supposed to do here on this earth, and not being distracted or limited or restricted or confined by religion or society or something that is set up against you. Not letting people's jealousies keep you down. You understand? I have to start everything. I have to do everything. I had to create everything and open up doors for myself. I had to learn the laws of things that I want to do and do everything for myself, simply because people who were jealous would tell me that I couldn't do it. And it wasn't people that was my age. It was people that was older than me. It's the people that's supposed to be believing in the children's future. Them motherfuckers sit there and listen to your whole idea, tell you can't do it, and turn around and sell your idea to somebody else. I've been there. They did that to me. I had to recluse myself, seclude myself, pull myself back from everybody, because I was supporting people and they were stealing from me. Because I was just giving my energy, giving of myself, because I'm a friendly, giving person. But I had to stop and realize, baby, the only person you need to be giving to is yourself, your child. You need to be giving to your family. Not even giving to your family anymore. You have to. I had to stop that. Because when you give, people, oh, take. They taking with both hands. When you give with one hand, you take with the other. You don't take when oh, no. See, that's why certain people, you got to cut them motherfuckers off, because they take with both hands and they don't give shit. Motherfuckers is just devours. But when you are a giving person, what you do is you give with one hand and you receive as well. And don't feel bad. Don't feel bad for giving and receiving, because you are actually doing what the laws of nature is designed to do. Keep things in the cipher. Keep things in the rolling movement. Keep it in the rotation. You taking. You know what? You're going to take all the negative energy and it's all buried on you with your selfish ass. Don't be selfish. Be selfless and selfish at the same time. Self-preserving. That's the type of selfish. Self-preserve. Preserve your mind. Preserve your body. Preserve yourself. Because you have one. Okay? That's the kind of selfish you need to be. But selfish in understanding that there's nothing on this earth that is not free to me, because I'm connected to Creator. So all comes and all goes. It's freely going. And it's a cycle. What I need is already here. I might not be seeing it. Maybe I need to look up under some of these blessings I got that I can't help to see. They're so big. I need to look through them so I can find those other blessings that I have hidden. You got to start thinking in such a way that promotes positivity. Speaking in ways that promote positivity. Loving yourself, regardless of anybody else loving you. So what, they walked out on you. They'll be back. It's you. If they can't come back, they wish they could have. But that don't change who you are. So don't let what they did change who you are and what you do for yourself. Love yourself. Be yourself. Accept yourself. Because you are loved. Whether a person tell you that or not, sometimes people leave you because they love you and they know that them being around may hurt you more than it'll help you. So don't take other people's actions personally. Just love yourself the way you want to be loved. Thank you.